goal is to achieve a more natural sound the next time that you speak in American English, one thing that I need you to start looking out for is patterns. Patterns are situations that repeat typically more than two times because if it's just twice, it could have just been random. But if it's three times, well, then that could be an indication that what you're doing is about to become a pattern. And if you can break from those patterns, what it can do is it can give you a more natural sound. And there's a lot of ways to break from patterns. You can do it by changing your pitch. You can do it by changing your speed. You could do it by changing your intonation pattern, stresses. There's lots of different ways to handle this. And so today we're going to be talking about some strategies that you can employ in your own speech that can give you examples of what to do with those patterns. All right. Good morning, guys. Good evening. Good afternoon. Welcome to your American English Pronunciation Review Show, the Schwa Mill. We are here Mondays, Tuesdays, and also on Fridays, right around 7 a.m. New York, to look at pronunciation files that you send to me and to guide you in this process. There is me. Hi, my name is Geoff. It rhymes with breath. That's one of the 4 keys to a natural sound in American English, including placement, pitch, breath, trying to weaken your consonant sounds in order to strengthen your vowel sounds. And today we're going to be listening to more that you guys have sent to us very graciously. If you have an audio file that you would like to send to us for review, you can go to the video description. There is a link to a Telegram group that is free where you can send files. Let's take a listen to our very first file for today. First one.
I love cooking stew because it's quick, easy, and stress-free. All you have to do is throw everything into the pot and wait for it till it's cooked through. And there you have it.
Okay, thank you so much for sending that. Let's play that one more time just to double check things.
I love cooking stew because it's quick, easy, and stress-free. All you have to do is throw everything into the pot and wait for it till it's cooked through. And there you have it.
Okay, there's some patterns here that I want to identify, and we're breaking them, which is great. Overall, I think this file is doing a lot of things that we can employ into our own speech successfully. Just as a little pronunciation thing, the word through can be a tricky word for people. It has that TH sound, it has that R, and then that vowel. So when you're pronouncing the word through, something I want you to be mindful of is we don't really care too much about the TH. We don't really care too much about the R. What we care about is that vowel sound. We are going to emphasize vowel sounds over consonant sounds in American English. So that oo sound really needs to come through clearly. That THR sound is going to be weak, fast, and light. For the TH, I generally recommend taking your tongue and pressing it against your lower front teeth. So right around down there. So press it very lightly as well. We don't need to press hard. If you press too hard, you're going to get a lot of friction and a lot of blocked breath. So it's going to be like, and that's not what we want. We want a sound that's like. Then we're going to add that R sound. And as we make our R sound, you have to make sure to project low. Okay, we don't want to project from our mouth area. We also don't want to have too much tension. Okay, what's up to Tom hanging out with us? Good to see you as always. Okay, so that R sounds like R. It's not like that. It's more like a R. So as we pair that with the TH, it's going to sound like thur, thur, thur. Sounds like that. And then that oo sound is going to sound like oo, oo. Notice that my lips are pretty straight for this. Like that. Ooh. Ooh. Okay, so it's not ooh or anything like that. It's more ooh. It's like ooh, roo, through. Ooh, roo, through. Ooh, roo, through. Just trying to make sure we get that much air in things on our sound. You can listen to that again. It's one of the last words at the end of the clip.
I love cooking stew because it's quick, easy, and stress-free. All you have to do is throw everything into the pot and wait for it till it's cooked through. And there you have it.
Yeah, because that through there has a little bit less breath and a little bit more friction than some of the surrounding words. But let's talk more about patterns, because there are some patterns here that I want to identify for you and show you how we are breaking them in a way that I think sounds pretty natural.
I love cooking stew because it's quick, easy, and stress-free.
You see quick, easy, and stress-free. Okay, so this is a very common pattern you're going to see in American English, where you're going to get kind of like this waver this like bowl shape that goes down and up, like quick. And then we repeat down the word easy, right? Easy. You see that the form of that sound is the same. The only thing we're doing is we're just shifting it lower in pitch. The 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 quick, easy. And then we get to the end of our pattern with the stress free. And what very often happens in English is we invert it. So before our bowl was going down and up, but now our bowl is going to be flipped over. It's going to go up and down. Stress free. Stress free. Quick, easy, stress free. You see that's kind of like the opposite pattern there.
I love cooking stew because it's quick, easy, and stress free. All you have to do is throw everything into the pot.
Okay. Another pattern we just saw there. All you have to do is throw it into the pot. Do you see that that is again, we have this pattern. Da, 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 da. It's the same sort of movement where it's like starts a little high, curls down, and curls back up. All you have to do, throw it in the pot. Da, 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 da. So again, this is another case. We see another pattern. We just did it twice. So what you would expect to happen next is for that pattern to be broken.
I love cooking stew because it's quick, easy, and stress free. All you have to do is throw everything into the pot and wait for it till it's cooked through.
And again, you see the inversion. Wait till it's cooked through. Da, 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 da. All you have to do, da, 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 throw it in the pot. Da, 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 and wait for it till it's cooked through. So again, it's just the inverse of what happened before it. This is a very common concept in American English. Whatever I do the first time, the second time, I'm going to do it again, but maybe I'll change the pacing or maybe I'll change the pitch. And then the next time, I'm going to completely invert it. If you can get a concept of that music and apply it to your own speech, it's going to give you a much more natural sound in English very quickly.
I love cooking stew because it's quick, easy, and stress free. All you have to do is throw everything into the pot and wait for it till it's cooked through. And there you have it.
So overall, those are some examples of some patterns that you can do, the types of inversions that we need to achieve a natural sound. Thanks for sending this file, as always appreciated. Before we jump to our next file, just something I want to let you know about. If you're thinking about starting a new habit, trying to get back into American English, or starting to try American English with a focus on pronunciation, maybe for the first time, but you're not sure what to do or how to go about it. Well, what I will say is that if you are a YouTube channel member at Fluent American, you go to youtube.com/Fluent American and join there, or there may be a button right down here if you're watching on YouTube. And what that does is it lets you join the channel. But why join the channel? Sometimes channels have these weird channel memberships that don't really give you much, or it's just like, oh, you can just watch a video early. Okay. No, ours is actually pretty unique in that it gives you access to some things that are very special at a very discounted price. So I have some group coaching programs, and basically, if you're a YouTube channel member, you get to watch all of our live sessions and all of our previous sessions at a very, very steep discount. So we have classes Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at a variety of different times, whether morning times, New York, early afternoon times, New York, or evening times, New York. And you get access to watch all of them and also all the replays. And let's be honest, I've taught like literally 1,000 group coaching classes. So if you join, you'll get access to those to work through. Also, while we do live classes, you'll be able to interact with us in the chat, ask us questions and things. So that way you can get yourself some concepts to work on, some exercises to work on, improve your pronunciation. So if that sounds like something you are interested in, you want to work with me in more detail, it's kind of like what we do in the morning, but a lot more of it and a lot more detail for the students and a lot more practice. You can see the improvement happening even in your own speech. That YouTube channel membership may be really helpful for you. Again, you can go press that join button below or go to youtube.com/Fluent American and press the join button there. And maybe even see you in class later today. All right, we have one other clip to take a look at today. Let's see what this one's about.
Is the word chicken more like Chicago, or is it more like a crisp?
Okay. So we have a couple. We'll answer the question, but also address something. So we have chicken, we have Chicago, and I believe the last word was crisps, which, Chris, if I'm not mistaken, crisps are fries or chips in American English. I don't know. I'm not. I don't speak British English. If you guys want to help me out, crisps, are they either fries in American English or are they chips in American English? Do not remember. But for people who have some experience, North America and England. Anyways, so all of these words here use what's called a short I sound or an sound. Like in this or quit or his. It's a pretty unique sound. It only exists in like less than 1% of languages worldwide. Okay, but fortunately or unfortunately, in American English, we got it. So that means you're going to need to learn it and pronounce it clearly because if you don't, people are going to get confused. They're going to hear an E sound or an sound when really they need to hear an sound. All three of those vowels are different. To make an sound, this short I, first of all, I recommend trying to get your tongue wide. So if you're watching on YouTube, you can see my tongue spreads across my entire mouth when I do this. See how wide it is. So it's not narrow. If I make my tongue narrow, it looks like this. See, when I make my tongue narrow, it's not much wider than my top front teeth. But when I make my tongue wide, now it takes up like my whole mouth. So it's going to be helpful to use a wider tongue here. The sides of your tongue, you want to touch your top teeth. So it's like you're biting the sides of your tongue. That's why I said your tongue has to be wide. So like bite the sides of your tongue a little bit. If you're watching on YouTube, you can see my tongue there between my teeth. Okay. And then the very back of your tongue is going to kind of curl down a bit because we want a lot of air to move through our throat. And our sound is supposed to be like eh, eh, eh. That's our goal. Okay. We don't want to pronounce these as E. Very often, if you see a letter I by itself, like in these words, chicken, Chicago, and crisps, if you see an I by itself, very often it's going to have this short I sound, just a note. Okay, so we're going to pronounce the vowel. We're going to add the initial consonant, and then we're going to do the whole word. So this is the progression that you can use for practice. So, chicken. Notice that chicken almost has like two short I sounds. It's chicken. Chicken. How about our next one? Chicago. I know you see that CH there, but a lot of times Chicago is pronounced with a sh sound. Chicago. You may also hear Chicago pronounced with a schwa sound, like Chicago. You can hear Chicago or Chicago. You hear both. Okay. And our last one, crisps. 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 Okay, so you don't want to say chicken, Chicago, or crisps. You want to say chicken, Chicago, and crisps. Just a note there. Okay? Always good to practice some short I sounds. Guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. Again, we are here Mondays, Tuesdays, and Fridays right around 7 a.m. New York. If you would like the chance to have your own pronunciation reviewed, take a look at the video description. We have a link to a free Telegram group where you can join and send us audio files for a chance to get review. Jose's hanging out with us. Is that do we make it like the T as in trim? Okay, good question here. So when you have a T and an R sound, it's like making ch sound, but take off that R component. It's like trim has that slight ch, but then a r sound after. It's like trim. But Chicago is actually, again, just like what I mentioned before with Chicago. Chicago is going to make a sh sound. It's a little bit unique, but like for chicken and things like that, that's going to make that ch sound again. It's like chicken, ch, choose, chuck, things like that. Okay. So if you have a TR word, just add a slight R sound after that. It's like trim, trust, true, trial, things like that. All right, with that, guys, I do have to head out, but I hope you all have a good weekend. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. There's a lot of pronunciation resources out there, so the fact that you are here is greatly appreciated. Another quick question came in. What do you think about the vowel modification concept? I'll be honest, I would need more specific information because I haven't specifically heard of that concept. If you could put it in the chat or in the comments afterwards, we can talk more about it next week. Okay. Thank you guys. I will see you all later. Hope you guys have a good day. Have a good